What's up, guys? Sorry about that technical issue there. Will Turber here for Demand the Truth. This is an opportunity I'd like to give you guys. As Josh told me, I should be able to open it up and let you guys ask me, comment, talk about whatever you want, give you guys some feedback, give me some feedback. We can have a little debate, discussion. People that disagree, go right to the front and you can discuss with me. And we'll have that. We'll have a little debate, discussion if you like. In the meantime, until we get some people on in here, I wanted to talk about Sirhan Sirhan. Now, I was never taught once in my American school, public school, about Sirhan Sirhan. Had no idea who Sirhan Sirhan was. And even when I first started getting into this information, I still didn't know who Sirhan Sirhan was. And it's pretty interesting because, I mean, he's an individual that killed Robert F. Kennedy, or at least that's what they tell us. But once you start digging into what happened and take a look at that Robert F. Kennedy case, it may even be more strange and have more turns and plot twists in it, and it may be more odd, bizarre, and dare I say, conspiratorial or collusatorial or scamatorial, because obviously you can't use the word conspiracy, but there are very, very weird things surrounding the RFK assassination. And again, anybody that's just jumping in here, please, if you want, comment any questions that you have, anything that you want me to discuss. If you disagree with me, most especially, jump on and let's talk about it. Let's hash it out. Let's have a peaceful discussion, a peaceful debate, if you will. But any questions, comments, anything that you guys want to bring up, I've just been doing really one-sided videos lately, and then I'll get your comments later. But I figured I'd use this as an opportunity to talk with you guys. So any questions, comments, concerns, put those right in the comments and I will discuss them as I see them. I'm actually be paying attention this time. And until I see some comments, I do want to talk about Sirhan Sirhan. Now, Sirhan Sirhan is somebody that has... Hey, what's going on, Carla? Sirhan Sirhan has been in prison now for over 50 years. Over 50 years. Well, if you hear the mainstream story, he killed Robert F. Kennedy, so he should be there for 50 years. He's going to do life in prison, that's what they say. And he's been up for parole before, I believe, and they've denied him. He doesn't even think, he's not even sure if he did or didn't do it. And now his lawyers, the defense lawyers said he was guilty from the very beginning. They said he was guilty. And they were not very helpful to him whatsoever. And the coroner, and if you look at the autopsy, the bullets were fired in the direction, the complete opposite direction where Sirhan Sirhan was. There have been a number of people have come forward, very legitimate people, people who even worked hands-on in the case. The BBC even did a special report about this a few years back too. It is impossible, barring a miracle or some type of supernatural event which we do not know about yet, it's impossible for Sirhan Sirhan to have shot Robert F. Kennedy due to where he was standing, unless it was like a bullet that shot like around and came back. Maybe like another kind of bullet. Maybe just the Kennedy family in general just attracts crazy bullets. Maybe there's something about their DNA and they have some type of magnetism that when bullets start flying around them, they get really weird. Or people are killing the Kennedys in a weird way and they don't want you to know who the real killer is. On top of that, Sirhan Sirhan's lawyers, they basically said, yeah, this guy did it. Sirhan Sirhan says, you know, I don't know if I did or didn't. I can't remember. And after the fact, it came out that he's part of a very small percentage of the public. I believe it's less than maybe 1%, definitely less than 3%, but off the top of my head, I'll say conservatively 3%. Part of the public which is extremely susceptible to being hypnotized. So he doesn't remember where he was. And if you go, and it still should be on YouTube, and who knows it anymore because they've banned over 800 channels last time I checked, from left-wing, right-wing, libertarian, anarchy, everybody. They banned all these channels. So who knows if it's still there, but you can find it somewhere. I'm sure it's on one of the video hosting sites. And that documentary is called Evidence for Revision. It's very, very long. And, see, Derek Hines. See, Derek Hines knows what's going on. Yes, see, the girl with the polka dot dress. And that would be a very prime suspect for me. It was so crazy. You guys have to go back and watch Evidence for Revision. It goes back from the 60s, 70s, and I believe it even goes into the 80s. And it broadcast, because we all remember Walter Cronkite. You know, I wasn't born, obviously, when Kennedy was killed, but we've all seen the clip where Cronkite takes off his glasses and he starts to cry when he announced that JFK has been killed. But there's a lot of footage that they don't show over and over and over again, because a lot of it's incriminating to the official narrative. Same thing with 9/11, same thing with every other major event. So when you see this, Evidence for Revision is just a complete documentary of just all mainstream news sources, but it's just stuff you've never seen before. And part of this documentary, I will listen to the RFK tapes. I will have to check that out. But part of all of this has to do with Sirhan Sirhan. And Sirhan Sirhan, as a matter of fact, there's the audio of this. They're basically his lawyers, the defense lawyers and the police and the prosecution. They're all talking to him. There's tapes. There's hours of this, and they're saying, "Oh, so you did this, and then you killed him, and then you shot him, and then you did this, right?" And he's like, "Well, I don't know. I'm not sure." So a guy wasn't even standing, like, there's impossible for him to shoot him unless he had one of these futuristic Matrix bullets. And this guy's behind bars for over 50 years. Think about that. Hey, Shannon, everybody, I'd like you to take a second. And now this isn't even the biggest travesty in the world. Take a second. What would you do right now if you, someone you loved, or yourself, put it in your, because I'm thinking about it right now, and my stomach's already getting upset. Imagine being sentenced to life in prison, and it was impossible for you to shoot that person. People that dealt with the case directly said it was impossible for you to shoot that person. Whatever happened to prove beyond a reasonable doubt? What happened to beyond a reasonable doubt? Is that beyond a reasonable doubt? And the thing is, like Martin Luther King Jr. said, injustice anywhere is a threat to justice everywhere. So, if you're not going to ride for Sirhan Sirhan, who are you going to ride for? I mean, I think there's no justice in this country. I mean, people get shot in the street, maybe if you don't have your papers on. People, like, I mean, I know personal cases with people. The footage is all there. They could be trivial things, but there's absolutely no justice. I mean, there may be a little justice, but there's no justice. I mean, pedophiles are going free. And just imagine knowing you're going to sit the rest of your life in a cell and you didn't do anything. How many people is that happening to? How many black people over weed, just weed, for selling drugs? Or even crack cocaine? But you're like, Will, crack cocaine is so bad. I mean, it's one thing is weed, because, you know, nobody dies and it's whatever, but crack cocaine, that's really bad. Oh yeah, well maybe the CIA shouldn't have brought it in the first place. You know, there's tons of black people locked up, tons of Spanish people locked up, tons of poor white trash locked up, tons of Asian people locked up. But you know what's funny is, none of the CIA people that brought the drugs in here, none of those guys got locked up. That's so weird. Isn't that weird? Like, the people that actually bring it into the country, and this is non-debatable at this point. I mean, they've made movies, Hollywood movies about it. I think it's Kill the Messenger or The Messenger. Homeboy with the arrows from Avengers. He did a movie about it. Gary Webb. I mean, it's come out on video. The CIA, I mean, countless plane crashes. Iran-Contra. Rick Ross, the real Rick Ross, not the fat rapper that is a fake rapper that sucks. I'm talking about the real Rick Ross, who went to court and he didn't even know the CIA was giving him crack until he didn't even believe it, and it came out in court. He's like, oh, I'm getting this from the CIA. What's up? Mustafa, how's it going, brother? You guys got any questions, comments? Because I feel like I wanted to open this up to you guys so you guys wouldn't just listen to me rant all the time and address anything that you guys want to talk about. Ask me anything crazy, anything interesting, anything you guys want to talk about. What's the topic you guys want to discuss? I'll be here for a few more minutes discussing with you. Pedophiles may be going free in life, but they won't get away with it in the next. Vengeance is mine, saith the Lord. I hope you are right with that. I think we need to hold these pedophiles to justice now, and by that I mean doing so peacefully. And I think that we can do it, but it's going to take more people getting upset, because right now pedophiles are in Hollywood, pedophiles are in the Vatican. The Vatican's coming out like crazy. You got Woody Allen. Pardon me. You got Woody Allen. He's like, adopts this little Asian girl while he's married with this other lady. I'm guessing. I don't really know too much about this dude, but I know he adopted this cute little Asian girl. Had her all around, has pictures of her all touching her all over in his lap. And then he grows up. And then this little girl grows up. And then he correct me if I'm wrong here, but I don't know if he divorced his wife or not, or if he was single from his wife or not. Anyways, the girl that he adopted, he ends up divorcing his wife and marries this girl. Yeah, for real, Marcus. Exactly. Like, most of these, pedophiles do less time than drug dealers. And the people that are drug dealers are only dealing drugs, most of these people. I mean, there's some people that, or whatever, but most of these people are just trying to get by. And you can't do that on minimum wage. And then the media glorifies drug dealing, so everybody wants to be a drug dealer, and you basically don't even have a damn choice, some people, because the Federal Reserve has inflated your currency. So, and then you got Roman Polanski. Roman Polanski, another Hollywood dude, gets a standing ovation at the Oscars, Emmys, Grammys, one of them damn things. He raped a 13-year-old girl. Then you got Weinstein. Neil Tyson deGrasse even came out. So it was Woody Allen cheated on Mia Farrow with their daughter. With their daughter, dude! Okay, that's crazy. Okay, this is a question. What do you think about no collusion? Interesting. This is very, very, very interesting thing, because I honestly don't... I'll give you a couple things. And I always, in my own mind, I play the devil's advocate on both sides. So we'll see. So as far as the collusion, first and foremost, I was very, very surprised that after 2 years, $25 million, all these warrants, all these witnesses, all these things investigated, that there was nothing. Now, some people still argue that there is in fact something there. And I mean, I'm not going to sit here and go through every piece of evidence. I'll do that perhaps on another, and take it one by one. I did that with with one of my brothers the other day, and we were talking for like 2 hours and 45 minutes. So I'm not going to keep you there. I'm not going to keep you for all that. And, I think some evidence is better than others when it comes to that. I do, however, think that it's really, really, really difficult to find out what's going on in general nowadays. And I think all truthers, and I hate that term anyways, or all free thinkers, or all people who don't see bullshit or don't trust known liars, or, do see bullshit and can call out known liars. Things are weird because you got the mainstream media. And I've seen the mainstream media hate people before. I've seen them hate Malcolm X. If you go back and look at, they throw everything at him. I've seen them hate Ron Paul. I've seen them hate Rand Paul, David Icke, Alex Jones. But they've never had to deal with somebody like that as a president. Now, Donald Trump is, now that's not to put Donald Trump in the category of, at least, David Icke or Malcolm X. I don't agree with everything that David Icke says, but I do think he is trying to tell the truth, what he believes to the truth to the people, and he does it in a loving way. So anybody that's out there, I think, that's trying to wake up people and have them think differently or take action in a peaceful way and does it with love, that's cool. So you got Trump coming out here, and they hate Trump. They hate Trump so much. And if you listen to right-wingers and the MAGA people, and look, I've sat there on both sides of things. I've went to the extreme left, the extreme right side of things, too. I've been there. You guys see me with Antifa and Resist Marxism. I've interviewed both sides. I've really sat down with them. I've went out to eat with both sides in certain different ways. So I really try to give both sides an open mind and hear everything that they're saying. So the whole thing with Trump, and if you're a right-winger, then you're going to think, hey, Trump's here, he's rough around the edges, but, you know, he's going to clean up the deep state, and he's going to, you know, take care of these pedophiles, and, you know, he's a businessman, he's going to save things, and he's not a crooked politician. Yeah, and he's kind of annoying and brash, but hey, we need somebody like that. Forget the crooked politicians. Then you listen to the people on the other side of things. Trump is super racist. Trump is colluded with Russia. You know, and trust me, I can think of things good and bad for Trump. You know what I'm saying? I can think of he's done some good things. They're undeniably good. Like keeping up an ethics board to oversee certain people. I mean, that was awesome. And getting out of the TPP, that was awesome. Selling weapons to Saudi Arabia, not so awesome. Bringing his side chick on vacation with his wife, not so awesome. So, long story short, we're living in this time where, you know, when Bush and Obama were running things, they really weren't. They were getting their strings pulled. You kind of knew what was going on. But now we're entering this new world, and not this new world order. I'm not going to let that happen, but we are entering this new world where the media, like I said, hates this guy so much. I've never seen anything like it. But then, so the media's like, Trump is bad, Trump orange man bad, Trump's so bad, Trump's racist, Trump's that, we've never seen anything like this. And you guys can go look at the clips of this, the media. Look, the media is a flat-out lie. Anybody that doesn't know that hasn't been paying attention. I've been saying this well before Donald Trump ran. Now, some people say that Donald Trump's just using it for his own, oh yeah, there is fake news, but Donald Trump is just saying that to get his own way. Whatever the case may be, anybody that doesn't believe me, go check out, just type in Demand the Truth Returns, and I have clips from the news and all politicians. You will not believe the lies, all exposed lies. I mean, 15-minute clips of just the media lying over decades, and I sat there and cut it down. It could have been 3 hours. Same thing with these guys. So Trump does get it right with the fake news. However, all these people say, hate Trump, hate Trump, hate Trump, hate Trump. But then if you listen to Trump, oh, I'm the best at this. I'm the best at like he'll say, I'm the best at women. I love women. Women love me. Nobody knows women better than me. Nobody knows borders better than me. Nobody knows cooking like me. So you got this guy who knows everything. And then you got these guys, this guy who's not the best character, for sure. And he's saying, I'm the best at this, I'm the best at that, nobody knows this like this, nobody knows like this like me. And then you got these people say, hate, everything he said bad. And they're liars too. Now I'm not saying Donald Trump is a liar, but I have caught him, and even Donald Trump. I caught him in 2 lies in that same video, Demand the Truth Returns. We go to both sides of the political aisle. We hate them both, right? So it's really, long story short, what I'm trying to say is, we've got a really, really, really difficult time trying to figure things out. And I can't claim that I know. I would love to hear what you guys think about the whole Russia collusion. What is Trump? Maybe the QAnon conspiracy is real. I don't freaking know at this point. I really don't know. I only go with things that I can absolutely prove. But when your 2 sources of information are Donald Trump and he's the best at everything, and the media that hates him. One last thing I will say about the whole Donald Trump thing is, I believe it was on O'Reilly, but I'm not sure. You guys can just pull it up on YouTube, though. It's Newt Gingrich, and he was asked, and I'm pretty sure it was by O'Reilly. I forget who the commentator was, but they asked Newt Gingrich. He was like, well, why does everybody hate him? The Democrats hate him. The Republicans hate him. The media hates him. And Newt Gingrich, himself a member of the society, the Bohemian Grove Society, he says, well, he's not taking any oaths. He's not part of any secret societies. He hasn't taken any initiations. And to me, I was like, what? Did this guy just say that on TV? But then, for rational thinking, trying to be rational thinking people like myself, you see that Trump's like, oh, I'm going to drain the swamp. I'm going to drain the swamp. Is John Bolton draining the swamp? Is Mike Pompeo draining the swamp? Is Rudy Giuliani draining the swamp? Is Barr draining the swamp? Are these... if you are draining the swamp, you're replacing them with even worse members of the swamp. Good morning. Wow, so it's 8:35 there. And I don't know what intro Kristen's talking about, but thank you. I think it took a guy with Trump's personality to take down the deep state. You know what? And this is what I argue against, and I'm not saying you're not right. Maybe he is right. Maybe it takes somebody with their own money to really fight these people. Because there's a whole idea that Trump, needs an alpha personality to take it on. But I do think the majority of people I should call it public service, but politics, they're almost alpha type people because they all are pretty much alpha type people, or at least a lot of them, because they're out there. They got the huevos, the cojones, and they got their agenda, and they're going to go out there and speak about it. It takes kind of almost, I could be wrong, but it takes some type of alpha to get out there and get on your things. Now, that's not everybody, but now I always say this, right? Yes, the Demand the Truth returns. Check that out, guys. I'm gonna share that video again tomorrow morning. I think that's one of the best videos I ever did, because it's not me talking. There is some me talking in there, but it's basically me showing you guys clips, the most insane clips you guys will ever see. So I'll share that tomorrow. But I totally forgot where I was going. This is why I don't usually read the comments. So you're talking about the personality to take down the deep state. Now that may be true, but if somebody really wanted to take down the deep state, why run Donald Trump? Because people are, like, he's such a polarizing figure and so many people are going to hate him. Why not run somebody that I've been saying for a long time, like Cynthia McKinney? Cynthia McKinney is one of the smartest people I've ever seen. She's hardcore when it comes to taking peaceful action. She delivers supplies firsthand. She's a Democrat, but she's not a crazy progressive Democrat. She's a common sense person. And who wouldn't get behind that? She's also a female. She'll be the first female president. And actually, she's black, too. So she'll be the first black female president. But we shouldn't vote for people because, oh, that person's white or that person's black, or, oh, you wouldn't believe how many people voted for Hillary Clinton just because she was going to be the first female president. Oh my God. And I'm going to mention this, too. I have heard about the sealed indictments. There's supposedly thousands of them now. Trump also said that he was going to prosecute Hillary, too. That's not happening. And then Pelosi said she was going to impeach Trump. That's not happening. So to me, it makes them seem like, what the hell are they doing? Are they all just part of the same club up there? But talking about elections and all this stuff, well, let's have the first female president. Article today, I was scanning through. It's actually on this right here, my phone. Forget where it's from, but somebody can pull it up if they want to put it in the comments. That'd be awesome. Talking about in the EU, 25% of people polled in the survey said they would vote for an AI politician. So, oh, look at the first AI politician. The first reptoid politician. The first transdimensional mutant monster. The first human-pig hybrid. The first piece of potato bread for president. We shouldn't, as Martin Luther King Jr. said, we don't judge somebody by the color of the skin, rather the content of their character. I mean, am I glad that Obama actually did win that presidency in a weird way? I knew from the day one that Obama was controlled by the same people as Bush. And it's on record. I mean, it's all documented. KRS-One said it. He said the New World Order just put on a brown face. But it was good in the sense because although it was a lie, at least little kids could grow up and see, hey, a little black kid say, hey, shoot, I could maybe become the president. Then he gets older and realizes, maybe only if I become a member of the Council on Foreign Relations and totally sell out and become a member of the Trilateral Commission and let Henry Kissinger do all this. So, Che Guevara for president, says D-Rod. That would be interesting because the progressives would hate it because a lot of the progressives like smart people, right? And Che Guevara helped kill people with glasses. Progressives also love homosexuals and being tolerant as far as that goes, as do I. I believe that anybody that's over 18 years old and abides by the non-aggression principle should be able to do whatever they please. Che Guevara doesn't, though. Che Guevara believes that you should die, and he murdered thousands of gay people. And also, it's so funny because every time I see a black person or a Hispanic person that's not white wearing a Che Guevara shirt, I say, hey, do you know that that person hated intellectuals and just thought because you had glasses you're intellectual? You could just have a problem with sight. He hated this. So Che Guevara, most people don't know this, and Che Guevara not only hated homosexuals, he also murdered people because they thought they were intellectual just with glasses. And he wrote at least two things I can recall off the top of my head, negative things about African Americans. He says the Negro is lazy and indolent and spends his money on frivolous things. And yet people wear him out like he's some kind of hero. Che Guevara is a murdering, anti-homosexual racist. He's not my hero. Martin Luther King Jr. I mean, and so I told this girl this one time. She was walking out of the bathroom and she had the shirt on. I've had some guy say, "Oh, I don't care." One guy, I saw him in the mall, and I told him about it, and then he came back, found me again. He was like, "I know it's satire, D." He bought a new shirt. He changed his shirt, so I was like, "All right, that's what's up." And this one girl, I was like, "Yo." I was like, do you know that dude is legit racist and hates homosexuals and black people and intellectuals? And she's like, nuh-uh, that's not true. And I'm like, no, yeah, check it out. He wrote it. It's his own writings. It's not a misquote from somebody else. He actually wrote this. And I was like, what about people like Martin Luther King Jr. who were nonviolent and peaceful and actually changed things? And she was like, oh, he cheated on his wife. Don't get me wrong, cheating on your wife is a really, really bad thing. And I'm not God, so who am I to judge anybody? But cheating on your wife, murdering thousands of innocent people because they're gay or black. I mean, and that's the craziest thing about it is because it's this weird moral relativism that we're living in. So that's just a quick rant there. But, yeah, I appreciate you guys watching. Thank you guys for, it looks like I got another comment here. Lord AI politician. Yeah, it's bad getting a microchip. International Business Times have covered this article before. As far back as 2015, returning U.S. soldiers coming back with microchips implanted in their heads, not for mobility with an arm or a broken leg. Nope, for emotions. We don't even know what emotions are. And we're going to put microchips in people's head. It's already happening in Sweden. It's already happening in the EU. It's already happening in parts of Mexico. Microchips are already here. And we're going to have AI. 25% of people surveyed recently in the EU said they would vote for an AI politician. I think we need to start thinking about not what people tell us, not what the news tells us, not what the Vatican tells us, not what Hollywood tells us, not what our friends or family or society tells us. I think we should use our own critical thinking and the Socratic method and judge people on a person-by-person basis, like I said and Martin Luther King Jr. said, not by what they look like, but by the content of their character. Because if you start looking at things through that lens, you're going to find a lot of things that you thought were true are not true, and there's documented facts to back that up. So I'm going to sign off. I'm going to be back with another video later on, sometime before I fall asleep, because I do 2 videos every single day. Thank you guys very much for tuning in, and also thank you very, very much for commenting. If you guys have any other things that you want me to discuss, I have a whole list of things too, but I do want to open it up for people. Please send it my way. And the last thing that I would say tonight is please, 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 please go to the state rep's website here in Rhode Island. Doesn't make a difference if you're not from Rhode Island. Write an email, copy and paste. Just Google Rhode Island General Assembly. The official link will come up. I'll find the link and put it, but please, it's so easy. Just Google it. And then send an email. Say, hey, what's going on with these missing children? What's going on with these DCYF deaths? What's going on with these kids being trafficked and pimped out? So I'm hot on the trail of that, but I need you guys to please, please, please help me, because I only know one person that actually sent an email besides myself, and even that one person, shout out to Kristen, you guys were supposed to send me that. Even that one person had a state rep saying, wow, I keep hearing about these missing kids. What's going on about that? Imagine if they woke up to a dozen or 100 emails. You don't have to live in Rhode Island to do this. It takes 2 seconds to say, hey, I'm really concerned. What's going on with these missing children with DCYF? All right, thank you guys. Appreciate it. I will see you soon.